well. Now, last week at California, your first time at a downforce racetrack, beginning of the race, you go to the back and you get faster and faster every lap until at the end of the race, you're running laps very consistently with the guys that are running in the top 10. When the race was over, your guys in the crew were very pleased with your performance. You got out of the car and you were not real happy. Why?
Well, I'm not used to going any laps down, let alone 3. I mean, one of them was for a pit speed penalty, but that's part of the game, and which the revs were off, so I'm gonna explain a little bit. But yeah, I got so between those and just how I started the race, I think if I would have been on it from the beginning and kept up with everyone and not got passed, I would have felt better about it. But I just kind of went straight back and then just ran there, and I kind of thought, I guess this is where I'm at right now, and I wasn't happy with the car from practice, and I didn't really know what I wanted, and so I just wanted something more. And I think that when you come out of the car like that, and with everybody watching and everything, I just I didn't have anything good to say. I mean, it's the heat of the moment. I just got out of the car, and so I don't want to talk to anybody. Sorry, I'm mad, and I don't want to say something wrong. And you live in an environment where people want to know right away, and sometimes that's just not realistic. All I can say is if you have a really bad day and somebody wants to, come and be excited or talk to you, you just want to go back to your house or your room, and that's how I felt.
Well, you finished the race at California, which is something that the team wanted you to do and learn a lot. You came here to Vegas this week, and I'm told that a simple adjustment in the steering wheel really helped your comfort level. Tell us about that.
Well, I felt really bad for DW because he was on trackside last night. He had talked about, I think you need to move the wheel lower and closer to you. And so I unfortunately had to tell him that I tried that, but I felt very, very uncomfortable. I was used to being able to see the wheel and feel like I was kind of underneath the car and in it. And as soon as we lowered that thing, actually we had to move it a little before I got in, because once I buckled up, it was hitting the belt buckle, which is, oh my God, that's so close. And I couldn't see it, and I felt like I was on top of the car, and I'm just not really comfortable there yet. So maybe it's closer and higher for me. Maybe that's my comfort zone. I don't know. But, I was not getting a good feel for it. If only it was that easy to find time, just be like, adjust the steering wheel.
Yeah, just
keep adjusting my steering wheel.
Trying to make you comfortable in the car. Tony Uri Jr., your crew chief, told me that maybe unfairly they spent all the time yesterday on the track in race trim. Didn't give you a chance to go out in qualifying trim. So you went on the track cold this morning in qualifying trim, and that probably bit you a little bit in terms of trying to get the speed you wanted out of the car.
Well, I think that I know that the car was better than what I did with it. And that's part of the problem, is that, that's what makes me so upset, is if I was sliding around and, all over the place and I was where I was, well, you know what? I don't really know what I'm supposed to do to fix that. But the car did feel pretty good. And I, felt like I used a lot more throttle than I did yesterday. But, I think it would have really helped to have learned from the guys ahead of me if I was later in the qualifying order, so that I could have seen that people were flat, seen that my teammate Kelly Byers was flat out there. But I just didn't know, So, you know what? I mean, we have a lot more miles of racing than we do qualifying. The only thing I'm worried about is getting put in a position where there's an accident, or, you're closer to going a lap down, being in the back. But I have to remember that it just doesn't matter. It really just, it doesn't matter. I'm here to learn, and I'm here to just get experience. And whether I finish 5th, 15th, or 35th, I mean, if I can come away with something, it's, one more step in the right direction. That took everything in me to say that, by the way.
Good for you. I'm very proud of you. Now, you leave after this race, and you go away for 4 months. Come back the end of June at New Hampshire, and you get in the IndyCar trying to win the Indy 500. There are people in this sport who believe that being a part of a stock car team for a few weeks will actually help you in the IndyCar. How do you feel?
I hope that's right. I think, for me, I've driven the IndyCar twice this I don't know if you could call it spring or it's still winter or whatever, but this year. And we had some braking issues at the first one. The second one was, I felt like a Fontana car. It was really loose into the corner, and I just didn't feel good. So, you know, I know how to drive an Indy car, and I have to remember that it's not because of this that I'm not feeling comfortable. It's because it's not right. And I really have to trust those instincts and get what I need in the car. So I hope it does work. I think there'll be some, we were just actually talking about it up in the front of the truck about, you know, learning drafting in these cars and maybe being able to apply a little bit of that to an Indy car. You know, I was laughing about the side drafting stuff and how unfortunate that was for Dario at Michigan a few years ago. That didn't end well when Dan Weldon came up on him to side draft him. But I'm sure that there are things to apply, and these cars really emphasize balance, and so I think that's something that I'd like to really work a little harder on in the Indy car. Yeah, I hope that's right. Yet to see yet, but I don't think there's anything bad about getting miles.
Okay, you finished fourth at Indy in the Indy 500 as a rookie, led the race, almost set on the pole, by the way, finished third this year. What's it going to take for Danica Patrick to win this year's Indianapolis 500?
I love that race. I love that race. I love going to Indy. I love everything about it. I want to win that race so bad. So, you know, we're going to need to have fast race cars. They're going to need to be, they're just going to need to be fast. I mean, to win Indy, you do have to be fast. I think that's what I found really the first year was that, while I didn't have the experience, I had a fast race car, and I saw how important that was to be in the front of the field, because you can get such a draft down the straightaways there. So I think this year, like I said, fast cars is going to take diligence during the month. It's a tough track because it's like its own living thing, and you know, I know you guys go there too, and it's just, you know, you go out there from one run to the next with the same car, and you might have a whole different feeling. So it's about staying calm, level-headed, and you know, last year before the race in the final practice, I don't even know where we were, but it wasn't amazing. And you know, what you had to remember was, okay, I was behind 5 cars. It's about the worst situation possible. It wasn't too bad balance. You know, the race is going to be like this. We need to be smart. It was like that on Friday last week. It was pretty good. You know, you just have to really stay calm, because you can overreact there, but you really have to trust your general balance and feeling from the month to go into race day. And then you need a little luck.
Well, I think maybe TK and Marco and Dario may have something to say about it. But how about going up there, you win the race, you win the Indy 500, and then come back to us at New Hampshire in a stock car for 10 more races. How different will Danica Patrick be when you come back to stock car racing in June?
If that were to happen, I'm sure that there would be some amount of confidence and happiness as a result. But I'm not saying if, when it's a challenge here still, because there's so much to learn, I hope that it's not a matter of feeling worse, you know, like, gosh, I just won the Indy 500 and I can't, you know, hit a nail with a sledgehammer right now. So, I don't know. I don't think there could be too much bad about winning the Indy 500, though.
Hey, on behalf of all the fans that are gathered around us in the garage area and the millions watching at home that are Danica Patrick fans, hey, thanks for coming over and being so gracious with your time and being a part of NASCAR stock car racing in the Nationwide Series. I
am having a lot of fun, I must say. I've had a lot of humbling days, but the fans have been great. You know, I have to remember that they're meeting me for the first time, and sometimes I'm not really happy, but the fans have been great. The teams have been great. The drivers have been great. It's been a great experience. I wish I was up front a little bit more, but it's been a good experience.
It'll take time, but hey, good luck today.
Thanks.
Well, Alan Beswick, Danica Patrick spending some time with us here in the garage area.